Let's talk Golden State Warriors. I hope you had a great week. It's great to be here with you again. I know it has been a long time, and I'm going to let you know why. There's something new that I'm bringing to the channel. I'll share with you right after. I just want to let you know what we're going to talk about today. So, I'm going to do a recap of all the news and rumors for the week. And so, we're talking about Stephen Curry. We are talking about Draymond Green. We are talking about the NBA draft and two potential names that I really liked. We're talking about Chris Paul. We are talking about this crazy trade that you saw in the cover about Zach Lavine joining the Warriors, and then some head coach change that we might face, and Andrew Wiggins as well. So, trying to bring a lot of things. The idea is to recap the week for you so you can find everything here. But then let me, before that, just tell you, so how are we going to work with the channel moving forward, right? The idea until, let's say, we start the draft and the free agency, I'll bring to you in a weekly basis all the news. And when we don't have many news, I'm going to do like I did last week. And if you haven't seen the video, click here later. I did a video for a highlight. So I'm going to bring highlights from Klay Thompson, from the Warriors, from Stephen Curry, and so you can enjoy that as well. But there's more. I will be here with you in a daily basis. So once or twice a day, more likely, I'll post a short video less than 60 seconds so you can be here at the channel and enjoy something from the Warriors. Those videos are previous interviews, past moments, like memorable moments from the Warriors, fun things, so you can enjoy all of that. And if you haven't seen any of this, you have in the first comment here of the video, you can click there and you will see the library with all the compilation that we have so far. So I hope you enjoy, and in a daily basis, keep coming back, and you're going to have that there for you as well, right? So over the weekend, I post a long video. Over the week, you have a short one until at least we hit the draft and we have more things, because I don't want to be here taking our time in a daily basis just filling gap and bring things that are not really concrete, right? So let's start. Before we start, let me ask you something. Please hit the subscribe button. There's so many of you coming here and watching more than one video but not subscribing. So I beg you, help the channel. Join me. We're gonna be here. The season is gonna start. We're gonna have a more frequent touch base, and I hope you're part of this. And once you hit that subscribe button, you're gonna receive notifications of those videos. So I hope you enjoy. Let's talk about Stephen Curry. So one more award for Stephen Curry shelf, right? He was named and selected for the All NBA 13. So he's once more getting an award, joining one. I do think he could maybe be a second, but not doing a playoff run is really hard. So that was one more award for him. And there's one more thing about Stephen Curry that was really cool this week is that Otto Porter Jr. mentioned in a podcast that one of the reasons that he joined the Warriors was because he wanted the opportunity to play with Stephen Curry. So we see once more how Stephen Curry, how he's influential, right, in the basketball game, in the NBA, how having him attract players and fans. So yeah, very kudos for that. Really good to see once more the Warriors represented, and that's well deserved. And just to mention, the other names that joined Stephen Curry in the All NBA 13 was Devin Booker, LeBron James, Domantas Sabonis, and Tyrese Halliburton. So it's a really strong one. As we can see, the NBA has been very competitive right now, so that's pretty cool. Jumping to the second point of the day, so Draymond Green. Draymond Green had a really interesting podcast with Shaquille O'Neal. I will post this week a few pieces of that with some of the highlights, so you will see. But he was talking about the Warriors versus the Lakers, like both prime teams who would win. Very interesting. And on top of that, there was some rumors that in the future, Draymond Green could be a coach. So that's very interesting. Apparently, some people at the Warriors organization right now, they do believe that he has the skill set for that. I do think he has a lot that he needs to improve in the soft skills to be guiding and leading other people, but that could happen, right? So interesting things ahead. Maybe in the future, we're going to have Draymond Green as part of the coach staff for the Warriors. What do you think about that? Let me know. Talking about head coach and coach staff, we might face some changes with the Warriors in this coming season. We already knew that Kenny Atkinson, he is looking for a new head coach position. So he was among the names they were considering for the Lakers. I do think that cool off for him because JJ Redick is doing a really good run there and might be the choice. But he was now linked with the position for the Cleveland Cavaliers. So he could be joining as a head coach for the Cavs, and that actually could bring some an interesting name for the Warriors. JB, that was just fired from the Cavs, could join the Warriors, and I do think that's really good. And the reason for that, he's well known for his defensive skills, so he would add a lot of that for the Warriors as well. And I do think that we need that at this moment, having these defensive runs and strong in some of the players that we have on that skill set. So that could happen. Let's see what's going on right now, interviews and everything else. We should hear more in a few weeks, a couple of weeks right now. And talking about interesting and chains, we all know we're still waiting. We're a little bit shy, a month shy from the free agency, and everyone is looking what's going to happen with Klay Thompson. And the Warriors apparently have already and put eyes on some backup opportunities for that. Let's call it that way. So we're talking about Malik Beasley that right now plays for the Milwaukee Bucks. He is a sharpshooter. He has done more than 203 points this season, 27 years old. So I do think that the Warriors would be looking to him just in case Klay Thompson don't stay with us. And yeah, it's an interesting choice. He's a free agent, so it makes things easier. But obviously, he's not Klay Thompson, but it could be someone that adds on that sharpshooting to the team as well. So we should keep an eye on that. More to come, and could be one of the backup names in case Klay Thompson join another team. Rumors are saying that we heard before Orlando Magic. Now we heard about the Philadelphia 76ers that actually has been blasting all kind of players as well. I think the 76ers right now, they're like the Warriors, right? Everyone throw all the names towards them. They are also heard that Paul George could be joining there and etc. So let's see what's going on, but that's what I want to bring. And then we're heating up here in the news. So Chris Paul. And I think Chris Paul is one of the key players for us right now because the decision around his contract will shape the future and the other decisions for us. So Chris Paul is being linked right now to the Lakers and Spurs. Spurs we heard before, Lakers is a more recent one, and it's an interesting choice because obviously he would play with LeBron. That is, if LeBron stays there, and LeBron is one of his great friends in the NBA. What is interesting that then CP3 could join for a lower contract, and that gives the Warriors like some savory because obviously he is a good player to have around. It's just that his contract right now is too expensive for the Warriors, and I think for what he's playing, to be honest. So he would join for a lower contract that maybe would make a lot of sense for the Warriors. So it's a little bit tricky there. Let's see what happens. And then I think Chris Paul, it's what I'm calling the day for the Warriors. It's June 28th. That is the day that we need to decide about waiving him or not, his contract, right? So June 28th is just a day after the draft, June 26 and 27. So imagine 3 days that will really shape what is going to be about our next season, right? So in talking about the draft, there's two names that I want to bring it up. I think they're very, really interesting ones. I think they bring what I have been asking the Warriors to go for, that is size. So we have 2 6'10" players. One is a power forward, one is a center. We are talking about Adem Bona, UCLA, is a Turkish player, and also talking about Coleman Hawkins, that is from Illinois. So they are both size players, strong, would bring that wing power for us, pick and roll. So I think they're interesting additions. The Warriors have been doing great job with the second round picks. So let's keep an eye on that. Coleman actually has been interacting with the Warriors in the past. I think last year he was training with the Warriors, but then he went back to Illinois. So let's see. I think they both are feasible and they both are make sense picks for the Warriors. Remember that we spoke about Zachary Rissacher, the French player. that I think is really good, but I do think he's going to be a first round pick. So either the Warriors would have to go for a trade to pick him, or to have a first round pick and try to pick him. So it's a little bit tricky. If you haven't seen the video from Zachary Researcher that I make all the comments and stats from him, you can click here. It's one of our most popular videos, so I hope you enjoy. And now let's wrap with Zach Lavine and Andrew Wiggins, right? And why I think this is the let me breathe. Crazy trade. It makes no sense. Why would we bring Zach Lavine? If you disagree with me, leave in the comments. Let me know what you think, because I just doesn't make any sense for me right now. As Lavine had in 2022, he did a contract over 200 million with the Chicago Bulls. The Bulls were heavily criticized by that contract. Lavine hasn't fully delivered any close to deserve that contract since then, and mainly because he hasn't played much. Right? He didn't play more than 67 games in one single season in the past 8 seasons. So he's definitely dealing with injuries. It's a very risk contract. Why would we do that? If to do that kind of trade, and I'm going to put there on the screen, we would have to send Chris Paul or Andrew Wiggins. We would have to send Moses Moody, Kevin Looney. Why would the Chicago Bulls will ask a lot, like in that swap? And it's just too risk for us. I know some people mention like, but we took that risk with Andrew Wiggins and look what happened. He bounced back. He's still not, and not everyone is still like happy with him. I'm particularly not with his last season. I think was way under what we expect, but he was a key player for the title in 2002. But we can't forget that he was also a key player because of his defensive skills. He really stopped as much as possible, but he slowed down Jason Tatum in that finals against the Celtics. And Lavine is not really well known for defensive skills. He's a very athletic and offensive skills guy, which I have my points also because he has a lot more volume of plays at the Bulls. I'm not sure he's going to have the same at the Warriors, depending on what the Warriors are doing. Klay Thompson's back, who is coming, Kuminga getting more space. So it leaves me skeptical. And just thinking about the style of play, I was a huge fan of Lavine. Don't take me wrong. When he was in Minnesota with Wiggins, with Carl Anthony Towns, I was a massive fan. I used to say, like, imagine the Warriors with all that ball movement plus the athleticism of Lavine. His dunks were very impressive. He has one of the most memorable dunk contests in NBA history. But I just don't. I think it's past that. For that kind of contract, it's just past. Doesn't make sense. I don't think taking the same risk that we took with Andrew Wiggins makes sense right now. And why not? Because Curry's older. Klay Thompson is not really that reliable anymore. Like he still can deliver, but not as we could deliver when Wiggins joined the team years ago, right? So it just drives me nuts, and I hope the Warriors don't go for that. It doesn't make any sense for me, and I think it doesn't solve one of the main issues that we have been speaking. The Warriors are trying to create a really strong team without exploding the tax cap, right? So we need to guarantee or push for a playoff run and potentially be a contender for a title, bringing a key player to help Curry, which it is not Malik Beasley from the Milwaukee Bucks, in my opinion. So we still need to do something, and we need size, and we need a point guard. So there's a lot that we actually need to throw all these assets and all this value into Lavine, that is getting a player that is not solid right now, that we can really know that for sure will be there when we need and is guaranteed result. So for this kind of massive trade, I think we need to go to a name or a player or that's more likely that will come, jump, and help immediately, right? As I said, Curry's time is passing by. A lot of our players are young. Some of our players are already veterans that really need the help at this moment. And I think our key asset, that Stephen Curry, needs the help right now. We can be batting as we have done in the past, right? Let me know. What do you think, Warriors fan? I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you had a great week. and I see you in 7 days. Bye.